in 2020, you guys came off of a tough loss, went down to Oklahoma and won. Is there any similarities between 2020 and 2022?
Of course. Back in 2020, I mean, it was first and foremost, it was a wild year. COVID year, came off of a loss to Arkansas State, and Coach Kleiman said the same thing that he told us that year yesterday in the team meeting. He said, adversity has struck. How are we going to respond? And that's really what he left it at. And back to work this week. Had practice last night, had practice today, and just doing everything we can to get ready for OU.
As a leader, what have you seen from the focus of this group going into Oklahoma?
Everybody's put it behind us. We understand that on offense, there's some things that we need to be better at. We understand as a team there's some things we need to be better at to be a great team that we feel like we are. And just getting back to work this week is what we've done. We had a really good practice yesterday, meetings and things today, and getting ready for practice today as well.
How much have the players challenged one another since Saturday?
A whole bunch. It's one of the things where I've asked guys, I know what I'm doing. Going forward to get ready for OU, what are you doing? And just asking everybody that and getting those same feedback and questions from guys to be sure that we're pushing everybody to be the best that they can be going into this game.
For an opponent like Oklahoma, do you spend more time watching film, or is it the same average?
I'd say it's the same. I watch so much film. It gets to the point where there's nothing that you can really add on to. But just taking into account, I mean, they have a new defense going to a 3-3-5. They had 4 down the first 2 games. Going to a 3 down, you kind of have to – you only really have one game to really look off of, but it's a really good game to look off of. Some things that Nebraska did well and some things that we can kind of counteract that they did.
Cooper kind of said that he's kind of looking at this as 0-0 on the record sheet. Is that kind of going around the entire team?
Absolutely. Everything that we want is still in front of us, especially going into conference play. You're 0-0 going into conference play. And this is the first game on that schedule, and it's one that we're looking forward to.
Is there anything from a hydration standpoint that you missed last week or you need to get better at this week?
Not necessarily. It's one of the things where I was battling through some things throughout the week, so I had to take some medication and stuff like that, and just didn't uptake my fluid intake with it as well, and something that I will be much more proactive on this week.
How frustrating was it for you to have to step off the field for that long of the ball game?
Unbelievably frustrating. I think they poked me about 4 or 5 times to try and get it right, and I'm in the locker room at that point, kind of just like I just go back out there without the IV at this point. So super frustrating, just for the mere fact that I wasn't available. That's the biggest thing about being a running back, being on this team, is I want to be available at all times. So I felt like I let my team down at that point.
Tulane looked like they did a really good job at tackling you, especially going low. Is there anything in your game that you may alter now that you know that, hey, this might be what the book is?
Absolutely. Just understanding that going into these games, understanding that guys are going to be filling holes, filling gaps much quicker. They're probably going to have a lot more forward players as far as making sure that I and DJ and guys that are in the game don't get to bounce the ball outside. So that's rotating the safety down, making sure that corners are playing run fits and things like that. So anytime that you kind of have to get vertical, you can't get outside and upfield. So just taking that into account and really seeing what moves work best as far as attacking that is going to be something that I have to look forward to.